What is good, everybody? We are back with another video. Today we are going to be ranking all 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. This is post 2021, and today I am joined with my friend. What is going on?
Hello.
Okay then. So let's just go ahead and start. So first we have Tom Brady. He obviously retired, but this is based on last season. So we're gonna be ranking Tom Brady first. This is all based off of last season. So where are we putting Tom Brady?
S. That's not even a question.
Yeah.
I'm a Tom Brady hater, and he's an S.
Yeah, he's got to be an S. I mean, like, he led the NFL in passing yards. And, you know, he just had one of the best seasons of his career in his last season, so he's got to be at an S. Keeping it going, we have Joe Burrow next. Where are we putting Joe Burrow?
B. More like A, actually.
I would put Joe Burrow at an A. I feel like he was up there, but I don't think he was at an S tier.
If he had an offensive line, that man's going to throw 6,000 yards and 60 touchdowns, like he did in college.
Exactly.
I mean, we saw it before. He's gonna do it once again.
All right, so we're both Cowboys fans. Next, we have Dak.
Brady Dakota Prescott is a F. Absolute trash. Can't even down a ball in 14 seconds. Absolute bomb. Should not be in the league.
No.
I think Cooper Rush is a better fit for the Cowboys. I think he fits Kellen Moore's system. He knows how to throw screens really well. He knows how to give the ball to injured running backs. I really think Cooper Rush is the future, and Dak Prescott should be a straight up F.
You know, I forgot to add an F tier, and you're right. I probably should have put Dak there, but we'll be generous. You know.
On all seriousness, he's probably a B. You know.
Yeah, I'll give him a B. I mean,
a little generous, but you know.
I mean, yeah, it would be nice. You know, I mean,
get a playoff win, and then we'll put you in A.
Exactly. We should put him in F, but you know, we'll put him in B. All right. Next, we have. Is that Ryan Fitzpatrick? No. Okay.
All right. Let's replace Ryan Fitzpatrick with Taylor Heineke, since we really saw nothing out of Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Apart from a broken hip.
Exactly.
Taylor Heineke is a straight up D. I really had hope for him. He played the best he could have. He had that incredible wildcard game. No, he's a D.
All right. You know, I'd put him in either D or C. I didn't really pay much attention to Washington this year, but I guess we'd put him in a D tier just because you said
Next question, that's an S. Mahomes is an S.
Yeah, Mahomes has to be an S. I don't think we even need to talk about this. He played
you
one
really
of the
put
worst
him in a
halves
C.
of his career against the Buffalo Bills. Or
Buffalo Bills?
the Cincinnati Bengals. But,
Bro, what are you
yeah,
talking about,
that
man?
was... Aside from that, it was a pretty good season.
All right, Texans. Taylor played like a little bit Davis Mills, General Mills. I still think it's a C. Develop Davis Mills, though.
So you're putting Davis Mills C?
Yes.
You know, I'd put him in either C or D, but I agree with you. I'd put
most improved rookie. All right, Sam Darnold straight up D. That entire quarterback room for the Panthers, oh my lord, that is a hot mess. Matt Rule should be fired. I love Baylor, but bro, you got problems.
Honestly, I think for like the beginning of the year, Darnold wasn't too bad. I think he led the NFL.
No, it's when he had a healthy Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like I think he even led the NFL in most rushing touchdowns for quarterbacks at one point early in the season. But yeah, it went downhill after he lost McCaffrey. And he
that was completely random.
Okay.
Jared Goff, absolute D. You know, hate Matt Corral or Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, Sam Howell, someone in this draft that has a lot more upside. Goff is done. He should be a backup for the rest of his career. At least he made a Super Bowl. All I gotta say.
Bro, honestly, I think you're being too hard on Goff. I think he's at least a C. I think he was better than Davis Mills this season.
That's fair.
I put him in C, honestly.
All right. Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. I don't know why Jordan Love was on here, except
he started one game.
He started 1.5 games.
Yeah.
And in both those games, Jordan Love looked hard garbage. But we're gonna go after Aaron Rodgers, and that's an S, obviously.
I mean, the NFL
not
MVP,
even.
He has to be an S.
I mean, nah, bro, he's a D.
All right. Well, next we got.
My bad.
Zach Wilson.
A D. I think he showed flashes of a future, but I hope he does not get wasted in New York, like most quarterbacks do.
I mean, if we were going off of like future and
he has a good coaching staff.
Yeah,
he needs weapons around him. Get him another receiver. Get him an offensive line. Train him so where he makes smarter reads. And this kid could become a problem for the league.
Yeah, you're right. But like, if we were talking potential and like future, he'd maybe be in C. But last season alone, it was probably a D tier. All right. I'm not sure how fair this is because he missed a lot of time. But Russell Wilson.
Nah, the cook. He's sliding down to an A just because of his little decline. You know, his playoff streak is broken. He kind of didn't show up in a few big games. The cook, the chef, I think he's gonna retire. I think Gordon Ramsay made him cry too hard. Right. He's sliding down to the A.
Okay, I don't know where this video is going at this point, but like, just sticking back to the theme of football, I think last few seasons he's been at S tier, but this season, yeah, I feel like he's in the A tier for the time that he has played. So, on a little bit more of a negative note, we have Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, that's a D. I mean, the Giants did say they did everything to screw him up, which is a complete true thing, and they're giving him one last chance. If he can't lead him to the playoffs or do something resemblance of good for New York, then he's gone.
Yeah, so D tier for Daniel Jones?
Yep.
Alright, next we have Kirk Cousins.
I'm putting him in a B. He had one of the best seasons of his career. I think that's a very underlooked thing.
Yeah.
He threw 3 interceptions and 30 plus touchdowns. So I think that's a really good thing. Except he can't lead the Vikings to the playoffs.
That's the thing. If they had more wins, he might even be up here in A, but I mean, they just didn't win as much, so he's got to be in the B tier. All right, another good one here. We have Josh Allen. Where are we putting him?
It's a hard one. I'm putting him in S. He's too athletic. I love Josh Allen's athleticism.
I just love Josh Allen.
He is so athletic. I hate the Bills, but he is so athletic that you cannot root against him. I just hate the Bills.
Okay. All right. Justin Herbert, another young quarterback.
I'm putting him in A. You know, he was with B last year. A this year. He had a really good year. I think he could have. Did he make the Pro Bowl? I don't think he made the Pro Bowl.
No,
Herbert,
he did.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, A. Him and Burrow the same.
Yeah, he even won Pro Bowl MVP or something like that.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, him and Burrow are probably about the same tier. He definitely took a step from last year, and I hope he can actually win next season. So next we have Ryan Tannehill.
Actually, no, he needs to learn how to tie. Ryan Tannehill, that's a B. He can't really rely on winning a football game without Derrick Henry. We saw it a few times this year, against the Rams. I feel like that's just because the Rams overlooked them. He's a B. He's up and down. He just needs to stay consistent and live without his starting running back. I
mean, yeah, I think he left a bitter taste in fans' mouths because of his last playoff game. But yeah, I'd still say he had a decent season overall. He led the team without Derrick Henry pretty decently. But yeah, he has to go in B. All right, next we have Tua.
Tua turned the ball over. That's a C. I think he has potential. I think this is his final chance in Miami. Brian Flores didn't want him. Now Brian Flores is crying in Pittsburgh now. I really don't know what's Miami's become. Oh God, something's gonna happen there. Steven Russ is gonna have to stall the team. But I think Tua has potential. Get him more weapons. Get him an offensive line for Christ's sake. Oh my God. I can't even name a single player on their offensive line. But other than that, just build around him. Come on, you had so many picks in the last 2 years, and you have not been able to do anything with them apart from Jalen Waddle and Tua.
I mean, yeah, Jalen Waddle was pretty good. I feel like Tua's a high C tier, honestly. I think he was around the same as Goff, but yeah, I'd say he's a high C tier. All right, we have, is this supposed to be...
That's Winston and Hill, but we can add Simeon and Book into there. I'm putting them as a C. If Winston started for the rest of the year, he could become a B. He had a really good year, you know.
Yeah, he had a decent year.
But until he got injured, that's when it went downhill for the Saints.
Yeah, so he had probably a C tier season. All right, next we have Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray made the Pro Bowl. I think he's a really good quarterback. That playoff game, I saw some really ugly things from him, and now he kind of wants out of Arizona from what reports are seeming, but I'm putting him as an A right now. I think Murray is really athletic. Plus, he comes around from my area, so I love Murray anywhere.
I mean, yeah, Kyler Murray, I feel like he's been receiving a lot of buzz because of what's been happening with him in Arizona recently, but overall, that season it was pretty good. I'd say it was up there with Herbert and Burrow, and he belongs in the A tier for sure. All right, Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. Ooh. I think him as a B. I think he had a really good season. I think the Raiders should stick with him, except he's going to be looking for an extension now with $30 million a year. I mean...
Oh, wow.
It's that money. I don't know if he deserved that, man. None of y'all can win playoff games. I think Derek Carr is a good quarterback. I feel like he isn't the best of the best. He doesn't really have anything special about him, but like, he's a solid quarterback. He's like Tom Brady, except he's not a check down Charlie.
Okay. Wow. All right. I'm not even gonna make a comment on that. We have Jalen Hurts next for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Jalen Hurts, I think he had a really big season, but I don't think it was that big. I'm putting him as a C. I think he was really overrated. Jalen Hurts got so much love that I did not appreciate it for some reason.
Okay, well, yeah, I'd agree with you on that. I'd definitely put him in the C tier. Decent season for him. Baker Mayfield. Okay, this might.
Jesus Christ, that is a C right here.
Yeah,
based on last year, oh my God, that is a C.
I mean, yeah. As soon as we get like to this part of the list, these last few quarterbacks actually it's just super.
See, if Baker Mayfield was not injured for the rest of the year, I think he could have been a B. But right now, he had a really bad year.
All right, next we have the San Francisco 49ers.
I think that's a B. That quarterback, I don't know. I mean, Trey Lance has started a few games, but like, I think Trey Lance could be the future. I mean, he's going to be the future going on. They're going to trade Garoppolo. That's just something that is for certain now. I think Lance can be the big time future for, what's it called, San Francisco. He's really raw. He's really athletic. He did go to North Dakota State University, which has a good record of quarterbacks at this point. I mean, they're like Alabama ×2 in the FCS. But I think Trey Lance can be good as long as Jimmy Garoppolo, he had one of his best years. He had a better year than when they won the Super Bowl, in my opinion, because he got carried by a run game. This time, I mean, he did get carried by a run game once again, but not really too much RPO. I think he played good when he needed to, apart from the NFC Championship. I think Garoppolo, it's like, what's his name? Carr. He left a sour taste in fans' mouths. So, I think they're a solid B, the quarterback room.
Yeah, like, there's a reason I said San Francisco 49ers and not just Jimmy Garoppolo, because Trey Lance was also there. Yeah, that quarterback room as a whole is probably a B tier. All right, next we have the Denver Broncos in
that's
Teddy
a C tier.
And
Bridgewater, I feel like Bridgewater is done. If he had not gotten injured, he could have done something in Minnesota. Drew Lock, on the other hand, you know, I really thought I could have gotten something out of him. I think he would have been a good quarterback for the Broncos, but in the end, he's not. You know, he showed lots of signs in his rookie year, but it's not been developing well. I think he's a good backup for the rest of his career now.
Yeah, I mean, there's
or go play the XFL, buddy. The XFL and NFL just signed a deal. It's going to become the G League of the NFL, bro. You can go play there, bro.
Exactly. Well, yeah, Drew Lock, I mean, there's a difference between showing flashes and showing potential, and I feel like Drew Lock didn't really show much potential. He just showed a lot of flashes. But, yeah.
Matthew Stafford, I don't know what that helmet is. He's an A tier, in my opinion.
I mean, the Super Bowl winning quarterback, I would put him either B or A.
I think A tier just because of how good he played this year. I feel like he's being a bit overrated, yes, but he did play really good. That Rams team was good at the same time, and they're not going to really financially recover with cap space after this year, but who knows? He could run it back. Matthew Stafford, first year leaving Detroit, wins a Super Bowl. I think that says a lot.
Did Aaron Donald say anything about coming back to the Rams?
Yeah. Aaron Donald is coming back.
Oh, so yeah, maybe that.
Sean McVay is coming back. He declined ESPN's offers.
Oh, wow. Well, so they got their squad back, so you never know. Matthew Stafford could lead them to another run at a Lombardi trophy. But moving on, we have the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, and I guess that's Andy Dalton.
Putting that once again as a C. Justin Fields has once again shown glimpse. Get him an O-line. This is like Tua. Get him an O-line and get him a receiver not named Allen. Can't even use Allen Robinson. Like, why? Why did you franchise tag him if you're going to target him 60 times?
Yeah, I feel like Allen Robinson's been pretty consistent over the years, and then this year just had a bad year.
That's a problem. 60 times to your best receiver. And you don't even run the ball. Like, exactly. Didn't the Browns have like 9 sacks against in Justin Fields' first game? Jesus Christ, I must be scared for this man. But I think Justin Fields is really raw. I really liked him coming out of college. I don't know why a lot of people didn't. I feel like he should have been the second overall pick. I think he could have done well in a Mike McFleur offense up in New York. Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton. I mean, I dealt with him for a season. the Cowboys, no. He's done. I think he should just retire. I think he had a great career from where he came from. Hall of Famer, probably not. But I think that quarterback room, just because Chicago was a hot mess this year.
Yeah.
Except Darnell Mooney is the future.
Going back to what you said, I mean, how do you target your best receiver 60 times and not have a run game and expect to win? I mean, that just doesn't work. All right.
It doesn't work like that.
Next, we have Lamar Jackson, who also did.
If we're going career-wise, A. Last season, B.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, he was injured, and I don't think he had that Lamar Jackson spark that he had from 2019 or 2020. He had that really good game against the Colts. I'll say that was a good game. That was really all I saw. Injuries hurt the Ravens, and Lamar was part of that. So, I mean, he's a B from last year.
What's your take on Tyler Huntley?
You know, people are saying since Lamar, he's doing an interesting thing where his mom is basically his agent, and he's negotiating a new contract extension, him and his mom, instead of using an agent, which would be the first time in NFL history.
Wow, that's actually really interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's why that contract's taking so long. He doesn't have a professional agent. But they could take him for the big bucks, or they could take Tyler Huntley for cheap, because I really like Tyler Huntley. I think he had a really good year. He showed glimpses. I feel like he could be a starting quarterback in Washington, Carolina, even New York, Detroit. He could be a starting quarterback a few places. I really don't want him to go end up in the XFL or the USFL now.
Yeah, he lost a lot of close games. Like, I mean,
that was on the defense. That defense, they lost their entire defensive back, their entire secondary.
I mean, yeah, Lamar Jackson was pretty decent. Tyler Huntley he honestly exceeded my expectations. But here, another retired quarterback. At this point, we have Ben
Roethlisberger. I'm putting him as a C. I mean, look, I get it. It's his final year. Blah blah blah. Ben Roethlisberger retiring. Pittsburgh Steelers great. Future Hall of Famer. That man was a tree being cut off by a lumberjack. There are so many clips of him just when he's standing still, untouched, alone.
All right, he's a future Hall of Famer. Don't gotta trash him.
He's a future Hall of Famer, but this year he was a hot mess. I don't know how the Steelers made the playoffs, but they did.
The Steelers always
and he had his retirement party hosted by the Chiefs. Congrats. I think he's just a C tier for now.
Okay, last four quarterbacks. Next, we have an interesting one. We gotta have Matt Ryan.
He's a C just because the Falcons are worse than the record says for some reason. I think he had a good year. At the same time, he didn't really have a top receiver. Julio Jones left for Tennessee, where he really didn't do anything. Calvin Ridley had his mental health problems, so he played like 2 games this entire year. And he had Russell Gage. Russell Gage is a slot receiver. What are you gonna do? Throw a 50-yard bomb up to him? No.
Exactly. Well, yeah, Matt Ryan, I feel like if they had won more games, another case where if they had won more games, he would have been higher up, but yeah, they just did not win.
I do like the way the Falcons utilized Cordell Patterson, though. That was a really smart
was amazing. I mean, they found... Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Alright, last 3. Carson Wentz.
He had a good year, but the Colts won him. I literally saw Ian Rappaport say they're actively looking for a quarterback, so I'm putting him as a C. I think he had a way better year than he had with Philly the last year, but Week 18 is something that's going to overshadow this Colts year. You got 7 Pro Bowlers, 4 All-Pros, and you lose to a team whose fans dressed up as clowns at home.
Exactly. I mean, another guy like Jonathan Taylor who had an amazing season, but people forgot about him by the time the playoffs rolled around because of
Week 18.
Yep. And Carson Wentz had a pretty decent season. He did what they told him to do, just run this passing game, and we'll run the ball with Jonathan Taylor 600 times every single game. And it worked.
See, Carson Wentz, he looked good for a bit until he had his what-the-heck moments.
You're right.
And then, yeah.
He did also make a couple plays this season. But, so our last 2, New England, not really...
I don't know why Cam Newton was on there. This is outdated.
Yeah,
I think we got all told that by now. Mac Jones I'm putting as a B. I think Jones is really unexpected. At the same time, that man is literally Tom Brady divided by 2. He's a check down Charlie. He knows how to run this Patriots offense. he uses his small white receivers when he needs to. I think Mac Jones is literally the Tom Brady now for the Patriots, except I think he's not going to win a Super Bowl unless they do some crazy move.
I mean, yeah, you never know, but yeah, I feel like he might be the franchise. You never know, but
Yep.
yeah. So last up, a rookie.
Trevor Lawrence, that's a D. Oh my god. That's like half of it's not even his fault. He got wasted in Jacksonville. Like, oh my god. Jacksonville was the biggest mess I've ever seen. Urban Meyer lasted 15 weeks. Not even 14, lasted like 10 to 12. That man, oh my god.
Yeah.
If you're a Jaguars fan, how do you live with yourself after that year?
Like, yeah, you get excited, you drive.
Like, you got 3 wins. The year before, you had 1 win. Your year with 3 wins was worse than your year with 1 win.
Exactly.
How does that make sense? Like, you're keeping Trent Baalke, who's a horrible general manager. Why? This is why your entire fan base dressed up as clowns.
I feel like this entire video has turned into trashing bad NFL teams, but we're gonna leave it at that. I hope you guys found this video entertaining. I found this fun to do. Thank you for coming on to the channel, and
you're welcome.
all right, well, that is gonna do it. We trashed on a lot of organizations, and I'm sorry, Jackson.
I love you, Jacksonville.